Hello, just getting my little cup of tea ready. Good evening, Thrive. Free women's online wellness classes for this evening's session. You've got me, Alicia. I'm the founder of this group, which was started really from an inspired thought at the start of the pandemic around how can I help people, and this idea dropped in, and so Thrive was born, and it's really taken on a life of its own, and it has been an incredible journey to learn from so many amazing practitioners in this space. So I'm really honoured tonight to be coming in and having a chat to you all. I'm not going to do a super long one. I tend to just always go over time in my own group, and often I'm like still 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 60 minutes. So I'm going to try and be snappy tonight in sharing the topic. So the topic tonight is being a divine human, and the concept for the talk tonight actually came through when I was running one of my classes. Each week I do a soul class, which is like Qigong and energy frequency class, and the words came through from one of my guides around this word or this phrase about being a divine human, and I just loved it. Like, it just kind of grabbed me, and I just thought, yes, this is it. Like, for me, wanting to try and integrate and balance these different aspects of ourselves, so being a human and also being divine, and being a human being and being a divine being. And actually, as I was thinking about this talk earlier today, I thought, you know what, the answer is actually in the title. So the title is Being a Divine Human, and one of the key ways to be connected back with our divinity is by just being rather than doing and striving and racing and putting on masks and acting different roles. It's around just being you, being yourself. So when we are being, we're in the present moment and shifting from doing to being. That's when we're able to slow down into our beingness and really start to notice and appreciate the things that are happening in those moments, those precious moments of life that unfortunately so many people on our planet are missing the juice of our existence as humans, because they're kind of racing. And I've been that human, and I still am that human at times, for sure. I'm definitely not coming in to say, okay, I am a perfect divine human being. So let me tell you how to do it. I'm in the trenches navigating the ups and downs of life, and really on a very strong spiritual seeking journey, and learning how to integrate these two different parts of us. So I'm going to share tonight the things that I know to be true for me. Now, I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, Alicia's just telling us this is how it is, and so we have to accept that. It's none of that. It's obviously we're our own person. We have free will. So I'm just going to share with you what I know to be true from my experience. I can't see who's on, so I don't know if you already know my story or not. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but if you are on, if you are here, I'd love to know where you're from, or if you're watching the replay, let me know where you're tuning in from. Nutshell story: background as a lawyer, been a lawyer for 20 years, and in March 2012, I discovered I am a channeler when I was hanging the washing out one day. So that's like taken my life down a different path, and has really connected me much more back into this divine nature that each and every one of us has, that is our true nature. Is our true nature, is pure energy, pure consciousness, divinity, pure love. So it's not actually, the title's not really right. It's not around being a divine human, even though I spoke about like being in the present taps us in and connects us to that energy frequency that is more in rhythm with our truth and that part of us. But it's more around remembering your divinity, remembering our divinity, because it is a remembering. It's something that is already there. It is already a given. It cannot be taken away from us. There's nothing on this human planet. There is no experience. There is no person. There is nothing on this planet that can interfere with your true divinity at the core of you, at your pure essence level. So, human, divine human. Okay, so we're pretty sure we're humans. So we've got that ticked. Just have a little bit of tea. So we're humans. Now, the divinity, that's the part that might be in question for some humans. Like, well, are we divine? How do we know that this is true? So, as I said, I can only share what I know to be true. And from my many years, since 2012, of conversations, direct conversations with energies who are no longer in physical form, or not currently on this planet in physical form, and have already gone through their lessons that this planet provides, they have shared with me so many things that have brought me so much peace, so much comfort. And that's why I pushed past my fear around, oh my God, what are people going to think when I tell them that spirits speak through me? Like, it's kind of weird, very weird. And the reason I've shared this is because it's brought me so much comfort. And I see too many people worrying, overwhelmed, stressed out, racing through life, and that's been me 100% in the past version of me. So I get it. I know how exhausting that can feel, and there are too many people on this planet who have not connected back with their magnificence and turned on this light that is within us. Every single one of us has this incredible essence, beaming light. We are light beings. We are spiritual beings. We are eternal. Our force, our life force, whatever language you want to use, whether it's your source, your spirit, your soul, your essence, whatever it is. As again I said, I'm just sharing what I know to be true, and I'm applying that, extrapolating that out to others, but you just take it or leave it. If it feels right for you, or if it doesn't, that's totally fine. What I know to be true is that we never die. Never. It is impossible for our essence to not exist. And we're currently, well, a part of us, an aspect of us, is going through the human journey. while many other aspects of us are going through other experiences. And we are at our core pure love, and we are all one ultimate energy force. And the way, an analogy that was described to me in the shower, maybe, I don't know, a while ago, was that when you've got a bar of chocolate, each little individual square, it looks like they're individual, looks like they're kind of separate from each other, even though they're kind of joined around the edges. So it's a little bit different to us humans. And I was told, but once you melt that chocolate, so for us as humans, once you increase that energy vibration, the frequency of which we all are, everything on this planet is, quantum physics has proven that, everything is vibrating waves of energy at various frequencies. So this bar of chocolate, it looks like separate little individual pieces, but once you melt it, warm it up, and like us as humans with our frequency, once we raise it and tune into the higher frequencies, then the true nature joins together, and we are like this oozy gorgeousness, all oozing in together as one. And we're here on this planet. This planet is providing us basically like a big learning tool. We just have this big learning tool here with a whole lot of duality. And we have sickness and health, we have light and day, we have linear time. But at our true core, our true essence, our home, which is not here on this planet, there is no space or time. And that can be really hard to get our head around. Like that one, I just go, but I can't get it. You know, I was little and I got bigger, and my kids are little and I see them grow, and there are weeks and there are days and there are times and there are night and there are day, all this kind of stuff. It's like, how can it be that there's no time or space? So hard. And we're very restricted. Like our human faculties, it was described today just in a channeling this morning or this afternoon, our human faculties are so restricted as humans. We are not even touching the surface of our potential. We're not anywhere close to being able to really, really tap in to the magnificence of our true source. We can try and get as close as we can, but we'll always be limited and restricted whilst we are kind of in these human forms, in these human bodies. And balancing this humanness with this divinity within us is something that can easily get out of balance. So if you are on the spiritual path and you're seeking the big questions and you want to know the meaning of things and you want to understand, you know, if we ever die or we don't, like as I was talking about, and you want to understand things on that different perspective rather than just kind of the nuts and bolts of this human life, then we can sometimes get so on the spiritual journey that we can become too attached and too connected to this sense of divinity, and that everything's going to be fine and I'm just here going through my lessons. And it can actually detach us a little bit from our humanness, because we can easily just justify things. So I don't know if this resonates with people, but you know, you might experience things that are really difficult in human life, which we do, all of us. No one is immune to that. And when you're really you're on that spiritual path, we can actually, what's called a spiritual bypass, where we don't actually allow the human response to feel the grief, to feel the disappointment, feel the anger, feel the frustration, whatever it is that a situation is bringing forth. Sometimes if we get too lofty up in the spiritual idealistic stuff, then we miss the actual journey of being human and having that spectrum of emotions, which is something that's particular to this planet compared to our home, which it's not able to have worries or disappointment or frustration, or the vibration, those vibrations are unavailable there. They don't exist. So we're here for a reason, each and every one of us, I believe, and the more we are able to get in touch with our own emotions, our own feelings, and not to bypass stuff and push stuff down. Because I know for me, so I'm like 45 this year, and I reckon for a good 35 years, even close to 40 years, I did not process my emotions. I pushed stuff down. I put on a mask. All good, it's all good. Everything's all good. Everything's great. It'll be fine. I was like full Pollyanna, to the point that I just wasn't actually allowing emotions that didn't feel good. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, I would just kind of turn it off. Right, that's it. No, we're all good, and get on and just kind of power through. So I don't know if people relate to that, of just like trying to mentally override when you're feeling anger or frustration or disappointment or all the stuff that we feel in human life. So around balancing this divinity and our humanness is also acknowledging that humanness, and that it's fine, it's okay, our emotions are here for a reason, and to actually allow them to move through us and to process them. And so one thing I want to share is, since I've been even more walking the talk of my spiritual work and doing my breath work, meditation, much more frequently I'm doing channeling now, much more than I was kind of for the first 6 years when I didn't tell anyone. So from like 2012 to 2018, I didn't do that much, but I've been doing significantly more. And so one might say, oh wow, now that you're doing all this work, you must feel super zen and never really get angry or frustrated or anything like that. But actually, in some ways, I feel like I am more frustrated at times. So I have an underlying just peace, that inner calm, that everything is going to be fine, and that we're just journeying. But my actual human emotions are stronger because I'm actually allowing myself to feel them. And so instead of in the past, like if I started to get frustrated, I'd kind of just switch on that positive mindset and just squash it down and not actually allow it to flow through. Whereas now it's like I actually voice it, I assert it, I communicate it, I do whatever needs to be done in the moment to actually allow it to be processed. So being a divine human does not mean being happy, super positive all the time. It's actually learning to connect with the subtle energies, both in our physical body, but also we've got our etheric body, like our astral body as well. So it's actually being more human with that overarching lens that we are here learning. It is for our good. We are eternal. We never die. We are going through and will transition back for a period, even though there's no time or space, but that it is good to be human. It is good to mess up and stuff up and make mistakes and not be seeking this sense of perfection as a human, because it actually doesn't exist. Like if we ever try and seek something like perfection as a human, we are trying to seek an unattainable goal on this planet. And it's unattainable because this planet is a learning device. It's not designed for everyone's life to be green light, everything perfect. We may as well stay where we were at our home. We've come here and you've chosen to come here. I understand, and again, I don't want to impose my views, and if you didn't hear the start, my little kind of disclaimer is just this: I share what I know from my conversations with my guides, but it's for you to accept whatever you want to accept. But my understanding is, well, they've told me, you signed up for this. You signed up for this. You signed up for this. So this planet is not designed for just perfect, everything going our way. It's designed as a learning device. It's designed for the polarities, the dualities, for us to see and have experiences with different people, and for things to kind of trigger you and all this kind of stuff in terms of learning. So being human, we embrace that part of ourselves, and we also, whilst connecting back to our divinity, and I'll talk a little bit also about ways that you can connect back more with that power in you, because once we really connect back with this essence of us, the magnificent light being, spiritual being that you are, it's like everything changes in terms of the lens that we see the world through. So there, like anything, it's like there can be aspects of being human that are more helpful and aspects that are less helpful. But the concept of sometimes when we relate too much to our humanness and we've lost sight of our divinity, when we have disconnected from our divinity, and there are plenty of humans walking around like that. So when we lose sight of our divinity, we think we are this kind of finite human, this in this body that is impermanent, and that we are fallible, and that we, maybe humans, when they've disconnected from their divinity, they've really got to like look after themselves in terms of making sure they grab everything they can, for themselves, and not really seeing that it's okay, we're all connected, we can all be provided for, and we're all going to be fine. So on our planet, though, we are bound by, as I said, time and space. We've got earthly laws. It's very temporary, impermanent, and even experiences you might have of joy on this planet, they will usually be temporary in terms of an external thing, that you have a nice experience or something happens in your life that feels good, and so that can bring you like a little shot of joy. Whereas the joy that we're really after, despite all the frailties, despite all the mess, despite all the stuff that goes on this planet, despite the heartache, despite the torture, despite all the hard stuff, to then still be able to remember our divinity, that's where the real magic, that's where the real magic is. So when we start to look from our divinity, we start to see things through the lens of love, of abundance, of collectivity, of us all being one, of us all being brothers and sisters, of once we are all seeing ourselves as one, then the judgment starts to fall away. So it's like, okay, what? I'm judging that person, and they're me and I'm them. So it's kind of like an energy that's not really going to be helpful in the world. But once we're connected with that divinity, that's where everything is beyond, like we can't even understand in our human bodies what we think is love, where compared to what is love in the expanded, huge, big pure consciousness that we really truly are, that greater meaning, the divinity, that all-knowing, where everything makes sense, this like incredible intelligence that is operating behind the scenes that we don't necessarily see or understand. We see the stuff that happens in the human level, we see the stuff that happens in terms of the human laws, but once we start to understand that there are invisible forces, there are things happening behind the scenes, and we start to connect more with that, then I've found my experience being a human has improved dramatically, and everything has become more colourful. Everything has become more meaningful. Everything has a different, like, dynamic to it now. It's just, yeah, it's just amazing. It's amazing. So being a divine human is remembering on this deep level who you really are. Who you really are. And this is my mission, is to help remind, hopefully you already know and you're on path and you're watching this talk because you're on path, who you really truly are. And it is not this stuff. Like, this is great, and we honor our body to allow us to be here and to be experiencing the things that we can experience on this planet. But it is only like a little a beautiful temple to allow us to be really learning things for the depths of us, the deeper part of us. So ideally we want to be like our feet grounded on the earth as a human being, and not trying to deny our humanness and being, oh, I'm just like Zen and everything is all loving and I never get bothered by anything and da da da. Well, it can't, that could be possible, like for a very small percentage of people. But in the day-to-day, if you kind of live in it, like, I feel like that is achievable if I just went and lived in a cave and I didn't have to navigate the stuff of life, right? I'm navigating life. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, my mum's really sick at the moment. I've got, with my husband and I, got 4 kids, and I'm working and business, and you know, right? You know the stuff. Friendships, like all the stuff that we're navigating through as humans. And it's not an easy place to be, this planet. It's not. Like, no one gets onto this experience and right to the end and everything's just been perfect, amazing, it's all gone well. There'll be no one. You wouldn't know anyone, because these people don't exist, because that's not the point. So once we kind of understand that, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to put my feet on the ground, feel really grounded as a human, and be okay with acknowledging those parts of myself. You know, if I lose my shit one day and I'm super frustrated with the kids and blah blah blah, like, that's fine. That is like, that's okay. That we're just human, and then we go, okay, I'm sorry kids, like, I kind of lost it with you guys and that wasn't the best thing to do, and I was just feeling overwhelmed because blah blah blah. And we teach our kids how to kind of work through stuff if we have, like, dropped the ball and not managed our emotions like perfect monks, right? So the talk tonight is not around, okay, just how to just become this perfect being. It's how to be this perfect imperfect. Like, just be you and take the masks off, because so often we can be putting on these different masks. And I know when I've worked for different organizations and stuff, it's like I've felt like I've had to kind of play the game or be like a certain something or whatever. And as we get older, I think it becomes easier just to be more and more you, because there is no one with your unique energetic signature. Your vibration is needed for what's called, my guides call it the cause. The cause. And the cause is around returning this planet home. And to return this planet home, it requires the waking up of souls. The waking up of souls. The reconnection of souls to connect with their truth and their divinity, and to choose to live through that lens of love. To choose to live through that lens of love, to create heaven on earth. Maybe it's around that. So feet on the ground, feeling grounded in our humanness, and actually, I mean, physically do that. Like, try and wear shoes as little as you can. Like, these synthetic shoes are not great for connecting us back with the rhythms of nature. So we are in this cyclical planet, and to be connected to our cycles, the moon cycles, and also our own as women, menstrual cycles, all that stuff, which we've just lost that connection so much now, particularly as in the West. So feet on the ground, in the dirt, stomping around as much as you can, in the sand, and just to be very, very kind to yourself. Very, very kind to yourself, and loving and compassionate, and be your best friend, be your biggest supporter. But also, if you're open to it and interested in it, to seek to connect more with your divinity, to have dreams, to have the childlike wonder and curiosity. Like, every day you go out into the world, it's like, wow, what's going to happen today in this world? What am I going to observe? What am I going to experience? Who am I going to meet? What conversations are we going to have? And just treating this, like, every day as being a gift on this planet. So there are a couple of analogies that my guides brought through this week that I really liked. One was in my soul class, one of my guides showed me the image of like panning for gold, and he had like this sift and like there was this big kind of chunk of gold, and he explained that it's like the human journey is that it's like trying to shake the dust off shake the dust off and to get back to the purity of you, that golden purity that is already available to you and accessible at any time. So I loved that. And another analogy that I really liked, this was with a one-on-one client with an energy healing in the last week, and the guide said that this particular client, it was like this client was going through life, like I'll try and demonstrate it, going through life like riding a horse with like legs super, super tight, like holding on to the horse, and the arms were like super, super tight like this, like, and kind of like trying to ride the horse like this. And my guide just said, you know what, just you're trying to control everything, trying to preempt everything, holding everything together so tightly, and kind of missing a lot of the joy and the journey. And this guide, she was like, just, you can just let go of the reins a bit, like you're still in control, and when you need to, you can pull and you can move and you can tighten and you can do what you need then. And with your legs, they're there, but you don't need to have them squeezed so tight. Just go into the saddle, just relax into the saddle and just flow and allow more in life. And I just loved that analogy, because that's life, right? We either just like holding on and going for it and exhausting the shit out of ourselves and everything, like having to have the whole stack of cards, everything perfect, and preempting that, and if that happens, this happens, and I see this like a lot of people I work with as well, and I've been that person, and thinking, oh my god, if I don't do this and this and everything's gonna like just fall apart. And so just starting to trust more that the universe knows better than we do in this current physical aspect. So just trust that if we just allow rather than control and just kind of surrender more to our life experience, it can be a much more enjoyable and easeful, is that a word? Life, rather than that like, and just in terms of our adrenaline and cortisol levels and all of that all of that stuff. So I reckon I'm almost done, because I was going to try and do not a long one tonight, because I don't have a babysitter and my husband's playing tennis and I've left my 14-year-old in charge with the other 3 children for like the half an hour that I come and do this. So I want to go and look after those children that I did bring into this world. I hope that this has been helpful in some way, shape or form. So it's really that balance between your divinity, accessing your divinity. So the things to do, I found breath work. I'm really big on my breath work every single day. I do not miss a day doing breath work. There's some free breath exercises on Alicia, Global Soul Centre, I think, under resources maybe. I can try and put the link there. I do a class every Monday morning, 6 a.m. online, which is a channeled class, breathwork, qigong, and energy frequency work as well. So stillness, anytime you can find stillness, meditation, find the time for you to really honor you and put yourself and your needs as a priority in your life. Because the more we try and just look after everyone else, we can be depleted and there's nothing left in our cup to support ourselves. We want our cup to be full and flowing so we can then overflow and help other people with our overflow. So really just seeking to be back in the present moment, bringing the awareness, allowing the emotions to rise and fall and come through you, because when they don't, what I see in the energy healing sessions is things can get stagnant, energy blockages, and things get built up and magnetized in the system when we've had an experience, and then again and again it's suppress, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And through our energy centers, which help us with our vitality on this planet, when we have stuff stuck in them, that's not helpful either. If you're new to Thrive, if you're new to this is the first time you've watched me and you're interested in learning more, I've got heaps of free sessions in, I think, Unit 4, where I talk a lot more about my story and the channeling. I've done channeling sessions in here. I've done lots of talks on energy and things like that, and also some qigong classes, I think, in Guide 1, or it's called Unit 1. So beautifuls, have a glorious night. I cannot see one comment. I don't know if anyone's made a comment or it's just not showing me. So anyway, let me know if you're here, you got any questions, comments, reflections, or just where you were tuning in from. That would be amazing. And have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. If you're a practitioner and you want to offer a class, we've still got some free slots for March, end of March. Or if you know someone who you think would love to offer a class, please connect them with me, because we're always looking for new practitioners to offer their gifts into this amazing group of women. Mwah! Big, big love. Have a gorgeous, gorgeous sleep and take good care. If you're not in my Facebook group, my private one, where I share a lot of channelings and energy tips and stuff, the link is in the intro kind of section there as well. And connect with me on Insta and all of that jazz. All right, beauties, take good care. Lovely. Bye.